Hello everyone, welcome to episode 20. 20 already, it's a very big episode, it's a very big number too. It's also a crossroad because with the system that we've put in place where you can instantiate scenes day, night, and so on, we already have enough stuff to build a story. We don't need to actually paint more stuff or whatever. We've got enough. You know, the point of this is a tutorial to show how to make a game from A to Z. So today we're gonna attack that 2Z part. We're gonna jump straight to the end. So I'm gonna make this is live, as in I make the introduction. I have not made the episode yet. However, I will in this video put the final product right after this introduction, so you will see a playthrough of the game that we've built together in the first 20 episodes, and then after you see that, then the how did I go from episode 19 to this video, or basically episode 20 will be after. So basically I put a list of stuff to do. It's in French, sorry. I just have so much thing to do in this episode. It's why I decided it could be confusing because I have so much thing to do. And a lot of that, if not all, I already showed you how. Now it's just gonna be putting it together. And then I'll show you all the parts that I did not show you yet, like the title screen, and not title screen, credit screen and stuff like that. Very easy stuff. So I hope you enjoy the video of the final product of our little game. And then I will show how I did everything. And then the next episodes from 21 and up, they will cover stuff. They will cover stuff. The series is not ended, but this is the big last chunk. After that, it will be not on demand, but almost like, hey, can you show that or that thing? And if I cannot say, oh, you should look that episode, I'll be like, maybe I should put it in the next episode. So So this is not the last episode, but this is a big episode, and how you receive it will influence if I keep on or if you dislike and you want me to start something new or whatever. You please, you can influence how the series will go from here. I just make this big episode 20, and I put a lot of effort in it, and if everyone loves it, I will be very happy, and I hope that you love it.
Destroy them. 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 Join us.
So, here start the instruction to go from the end of episode 19. onto what you just saw. So here I show some free assets that I use during this, but honestly, the one space by Pixel Machin Chouette, sorry, I don't know the name, I did not end up using it, so you can just take the Space Portal one. So I already imported the assets because I wanted to make the video as short as possible, and even with that it's still the longest video. So just now I'm explaining chronologically because this was filmed chronologically, you know. So I have not created the video that you just saw at this moment in time when the French counterpart is speaking. So now he's saying, so what we want is that you got out of the dream, you know, last episode, Antihero was in the kitchen eating your pizza, like taking your place or your dad's place or whatever. He was there and he was not desired, and you ran away. But when you ran away, you wake up in your bed, you know, because it was a nightmare. But then the nightmare is kind of following you. So this is not a normal nightmare. This is caused by the alien slimes. The alien slimes are the mind-controlled slimes that they were picking your mind. They were finding your fears and all your repressed emotions. This is why they made you. They materialized the Antihero to represent a father figure of some sort. And they use your missed twin and stuff like that to get into your head, and now they take over the village. So when you get out of the second nightmare, things get real. There are alien slimes in the village, and you need to deal with them and to kill the mothership boss or whatever, so that life can continue normally in the village, and you can go get that truffle to make that dinner that mother wants to cook so much for you. So there's a lot of things that we need to do to make this vision happen, and it starts with modifying the scene and starting to add a new teleporter. So this new teleporter, it will look in your pockets if you have the It's Orange item. It's the item that the boss from the second nightmare dropped. So if you killed the second nightmare, there will be this new teleport that is bigger than the first one, because you don't need to deactivate the other one. This is the same room. We're just multitasking the room. And this way, by using the item checker component to look if you have in your pocket the item dropping from the orange slime boss, if you have it, the bigger teleport spawns, and there this one will lead to the house version and the village version that are infected with the slimes. So basically we instantiated multiple variants of existing scenes, and we built a story around it. This is a culmination of everything we have done in episode 1 to 19, and if you followed nicely, you should have the same exact product than me. Put aside the visual of the final boss, because I just asked GPT, hey, make some army guy like a tentacular or Dr. Octopus, and he said, I cannot make Dr. Octopus. I said, you idiot, I mean, just never mind the stupid brand name. And then he did the image, and I was like, yeah, that's quite good, but he was looking feeble. He was looking like a teenager. I was like, no, he needs to be like a dad figure, not teen figure. So make him like in his 40s something, and make him super buff, because the alien are like expanding his biology, you know, it's whatever, it's mind slug business, and I want him to point just to be even more menacing. And so yeah, GPT made DALL-E GPT, same thing, made the image that you see. So the only difference with your project and mine is the image of this guy, but even then I shared on Discord the image. You can copy it. So no, you have the same project if you really follow that along. So now I'm gonna make the item checker thing that I was speaking about, because it needs to check if you have the item. So yeah, as I said, the French version is doing everything in real time, so he has to remember how are things done. But I think he'll get this one if he stops making typos. It's not my fault. I spilled a Rockstar literally last year on my keyboard, but my keyboard is like a very expensive keyboard, so I don't want to get rid of it. I should dismantle it to clean it, because I just did a regular cleaning. It was not good enough. I still got keys that are messed up. So I would need to take a few hours to completely dismantle it and clean it with proper fluids. At the end of the day, if it takes you 5 hours to repair a keyboard, that keyboard better be working at the end. Otherwise, you just lost potentially hundreds of dollars of work time. Whatever. So it's why I'm sticking with the keyboard, but I will need to fix it because it's annoying, especially when coding. It's so annoying. At least the coding program are smart. They detect immediately. They put red and they say, hey, what is that word? Why are there 2 E or 2 P? Oh, it's because my E and my P keys are broken. So now we set the its orange on the item checker, and the item checker will activate the deactivated teleport that is bigger than the initial one. So the logic is all set on this side. This room is completely done. We don't need to revisit it ever again. This is perfect as it is. Now, however, we need to duplicate, but right now French counterpart is duplicating the wrong one. You will notice in a few seconds. We will actually duplicate the home scene, because it's the home scene that has mother in it. So we will duplicate the home scene, and we will create home 2. Once we have home 2, we will clean it, remove stuff that we don't want that was in room 1, so we can make the slimy alien version. So now French version is finally deleting the room 2, because it was home 2 that we need to do. So now I duplicate home and I call it home 2. Gonna get into it. Don't save, because it says you want to save room 2. I know I deleted room 2. First thing you do when you get in a new scene, if you don't want to have problems later, is add it to the build settings. Otherwise, when you test later, you might forget. But right now I'm just renaming the portals first. But yeah, I thought I was putting it right now in the build settings. My memory is bad. Oh yeah, I'm complaining about the fake chest. I'm like, John, why do you paint fake chest? It make my OCD worst. I'm just joking. I just when I see a chest, I want to open it. It's harder than me, and we cannot open this chest. It's a painted chest. So it's triggering my chest, the loot in me, the thief in me, the guy that wants to open chest and have treasure hunting. I say thief because it's in the Final Fantasy VI. The thief is like, I'm not a thief, I'm a treasure hunter. I forgot his name. Oh man, I haven't played that one in quite some time. You know what I'm talking about though, right? You have to steal clothes with him to pretend being a guard and stuff. I think it's Loke, maybe, not sure. So now we're gonna put a new mother, because we just removed the mother with the mechanic from the home number 1, because we just duplicated it into home number 2. So now we want to recreate mother, but without any of the mechanics attached. So we take Mr. Mustache Man, and this time I'm showing you how to reskin it properly, because these sprites are already cut in two. So I'm reassignating mother's sprite on top of the Mr. Mustache Man sprites. So this is for the NPC appearance. So if you talk to her, she will turn and stuff like that, and her head, you'll be able to walk behind it because it's foreground and not solid. So this is the proper way to do stuff. So I'm showing you now with mother. But once you filled all these slots, you also need to change the actual sprite of the body and of the head. So yeah, so I'm gonna notice that very soon. Like, why is Mr. Mustache Man? Why is mother so mustachy? So then I was just, oh yeah, right. There's the regular sprite that you normally would put on default layer to make it invisible. So this one right here. So we need to take care of these bad boys too. So we take Mr. Mustache. We remove Mr. Mustache Man's body, and then we remove his head. Now we've got a properly looking mother. She's no longer giving us strange vibes, and now we can move on with the next step, which is to put a dialogue in her. Yeah, I think we're gonna put a dialogue in her. She's gonna say like, Ram, there's aliens all over the place. This has to be your fault, you bastard. She's not gonna say that. This is not a nightmare. You're back in real life, so you're back to a normal mother. You're no longer in mind slug psychological madness illusion. So this mother will be like, oh my god, we need to do something about those slimes. She should pick a broom or pick a chair and hit it with a chair. This house has 4 chairs, but only 2 people living in it. If you look, they must have villagers coming by. So we need to help the villagers as well, because they're our friends. It's a small village, it's a small community, we all know each other. So I put her portrait, it's not necessary, and we did not move the UI to make using a floating head coherent with our design. I just, yeah. Oh, I just noticed now that I did not remove the portrait on the bed. It's gonna look bad in the trailer. I think I will redo the trailer just to remove the bed sprite. It looks that bad. And anyway, the demonstration, the playthrough at the start of this video, I didn't put sound on it. You know, we did not change the music in game or the sound or anything. So it's not the most entertaining trailer because it has it's not a trailer. So the most interesting playthrough because it has no interesting music. It has the placeholder music. So I think I'm gonna put some banger music and stuff. Maybe make a music episode, and then after the music episode, music in the mean let's change the music of our game, and then refilm and modify the damn bed portrait, and then this will make a nice video for YouTube to say like, oh, you seen this game, we made this in 2 weeks, you can make it too, just watch the series, cheers, see you. So that's what I'm hoping anyway. I think this will this will what's the word, cement, you know, when you solidify, yeah, it will solidify the core of the series. Like the first 20 episodes are good enough to get you to what you've seen in the playthrough of this episode, and then the next episode are gonna be let's push that further, you know, better graphics, better sound, and let's cover also how to finish cleaning, removing the demo stuff. But in this particular episode, we don't clear the demo because we used it. We went with the concept of let's building on top of the demo without playing in the actual demo. So everything is all new scenes were created, but at the very end you get to the village in the demo and you see all we created is merging in the world of the demo. It's a good analogy. I put a lot of thought into it. It's great. It's just that it's all about the execution. So I hope that I will not rebrand, but clean up and reorganize a bit. So I'm gonna have to make an episode that says like, hey, here's a guide to the series, and this episode I teach this, and this episode I'm gonna have to do some indexation or something to help make everything more coherent for someone that want to pick and choose and not listen to all thing, because I made this like a school session in a way that you need to be sitting in the classroom for the entire 18 episodes. I say 18 because the first 2 episodes are presentation of concept. You don't need to watch episode 0 or episode 1. It's why I named it episode 0, because we don't care. So I say 18 episodes because it's episode 2 up to episode 20 is the 18 episodes that took us 2 weeks to do in real time. We're real time. Could have done it in a weekend. The thing is that I spend every hour I spend on a video is like 4 plus hours of YouTube bullshit, editing, shortcut, audio levels, and exporting to YouTube, watching again for timestamps, and so on and so on. You know, so much hour. YouTube is the pain in the ass, but if you don't do YouTube, nobody know you exist. So you release a game, you sell 0 copy, and you end up in the street dead. Why? Because nobody knew you. We live in a world where your popularity determines your wealth. It's just absurd, but it's the world we live in because of internet. There was no such thing in other times. This is internet, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because there has a lot of good things about that. I'm just saying that for now, for me, I'm not benefiting at all. For now, I'm the slave. I'm the one that does the good content, but yet nothing in return. So now we're putting slimes into the house. So I put the blue slime there, but the blue slime is a bit too hard. I'm not gonna waste time beating it, so I skip it in the demo. I place this big guy here. He's gonna completely block the door, so you cannot go out unless you beat him. So when you get out of the nightmare, you get in this room, your mother will say like, there are slimes everywhere, help me out. Then we're gonna beat the we're gonna try to open the fake chest, we're gonna punch the wall, and then we're gonna beat the red alien slime. After we beat the red alien slime, we'll be able to go in the city with this teleport. We don't even have to put any kind of trigger to unactivate or activate it, because the monster has a super big solid box. There is no way that you can touch the teleport without touching the monster, unless you go out of bounds of the map, which is not impossible, but you're not gonna do that unless you really try hard. And you need to have the opportunity to do that. Like, let's say sometimes you can force a scene transition, but with messed up XY chords, you can then spawn in another scene if there's nothing in place to prevent it inside a solid layer. And then inside of that solid layer, let's say you're on the outer bounds of that scene, it can happen that you can walk around the scene and then you would touch this, but it's not gonna happen because I put on the side the red battle area to prevent it. I'm just saying I've seen it happen in Feline Realms, where it's how you understand what's going on by like reverse engineering what the heck is going on. It's when I figured out, when you transition from scenes, if you don't manually redirect the spawning point, the system would automatically just reuse your XY chords and put them in the next scene, and that's very bad. It's why you need to use a component. What's the name again? A common event component, and on it you go on the player tab. Is it player environment? You click on transpose player, and you need to manually put the coordinates, otherwise you spawn inside the layer and it screws the logic that you've established for players, and you don't want speedrunners to exploit that. Always need to parenting them. So right now I'm like, you know what, now we need to do extraterrestrial slimes everywhere, so I duplicated this village. Sorry I spoke over it, but it's not complicated. You click on village, Ctrl D, duplicate it. So now we are in the copy of the village, and what we want is to literally clean it up. We want, just like we did in Home 2, we want to remove everything that has to do with the normal village. So we don't want the NPCs to say lines like, "Hello, this is a save point. You should save your game. Hello, in the 2D RPG kit, you can use NPCs to make great dialogues." So we don't want them to say that. It's gonna break the immersion. So we're just gonna say bye-bye to most of them, really. And we're gonna keep one. Then we're gonna put monsters everywhere, because you're gonna assume that people run into their homes. Either they're consumed by a slime, or they run into their house. But we're gonna assume that they run into their house, because a small village, and they see the stuff coming in the sky, and they like, holy shit, let's go into the attic, take the rifle and look by the window, or something similar to that. And if you don't have a rifle, you take a crossbow. You should always have a crossbow, but don't. I'm joking. I don't own a crossbow. I don't own stuff that can, by accident, hurt loved ones. You should never have that kind of stuff unless you live somewhere where not having that is worse. You know, like, I live somewhere where there are I don't know what animal. Let's say not cheetahs, but something like that you're not gonna handle, like they're freaking grizzly bears, or I don't know, there's something that occasionally you need to have something, because not having a crossbow would then be worse. Whatever. I'm not a hunter. I just say anything because French guy is speaking about a lot of stuff. So now I'm just making the nighttime switcher. So basically, to resume what he was saying, is that we were in the nightmare 2. We killed the alien boss. We seen Antihero eat pizza with our mother. We run away. We wake up into our home, but it's still night because we wake up like a night terror. And then the aliens are attacking. So now you want this village 2, to be night. So the scene is a night scene because you wake up in the middle of the night, and the whole point is you're having nightmares, so you cannot sleep. So you need to defeat the mind slug aliens in order for you to be able to sleep without being stuck in the looping nightmare. I did not intend to make this a Freddy Krueger thing, but it's not really a Freddy Krueger thing because it's not like he lived in your dream and now he's coming out. No. It's it turns out it's aliens, alien slugs. Let's make this a bit more earthboundish, not to get too because I was getting into pretty dark hypothetical territories, like, oh, let's make this is a deadbeat abusive new dad or something. And yeah, you can absolutely do that. This is October, we can make this as scary as we want, but in the context of not traumatizing everyone, this is a video game. I think using the mind slugs is better and is more coherent with what we've been doing so far. So this explains a lot. The mind slugs are the one that were probing your mind and like, oh, he has those fears, let's accentuate them times 100. I don't know, maybe they feed on fear, because there's like 1,000 Star Trek episode and there's probably a dozen of them that on that subject. What are the aliens getting out of that? The hypothetical aliens in that hypothetical scenario, well, maybe they're sucking energy, so there's episodes where that type of alien, they just suck mental energy. There are multiple variants of those episodes over all the series. There are so many ways you can reuse this, and you're never reinventing anything. All humans have a very long culture, we recycle stories for thousands of years, or at least for 1,000 years. I'm not gonna pretend thousands. I was not born then, but if we believe the history, we've been recycling history for a couple thousands of years. And the only reason we have new stuff popping out is not really new stuff, is that you base a story on the stuff that exists, and we create new stuff in our world. So now you can create stories based on that new stuff. The new stuff influences the stories. Let's continue that analogy to explain you. Right now, I'm just gonna say what he's doing first. I'm recycling NPCPatrol script to make the green slime move. Don't use the script with the sound unless you made sound on the slime, unless you're gonna have to problem like my French counterpart. It creates problem because you're trying to put a sound of a crow on a slime and you're not even in a crow scene. What are you even doing? So duplicate the NPCPatrol original vanilla script that has no sound and it will work. And if you have sound, but then it will work. So yeah, to go to the Minecraft analogy, let's say you live in patch 1.1 or whatever, and there is no such thing as all the new creatures. There is no such thing as the I don't know the vocabulary in English of Minecraft, but all the features that come in the later patches, like the in French it's a sniffer. What is it called in English? The new Minecraft mob that sniffs on the ground and he finds stuff. Whatever. You cannot make stories about that animal if it does not exist in the state of the game. So humans will create a lot of content, but never content about that new mob. But then when that new mob is created, there's a shitload of content that gets created, and backstories, and there's songs, and the new character starts to appear everywhere, and the people are sort of adopting it and ingesting it, and now it's part of the product and of the universe. It's the same thing in real life. We recycle the same stories. We do not create new algorithms in our heads to create our storytelling. What's going on is just that the stories are different actors, different stuff in the hands of the actors, but we're still doing the same stuff all the time. So it's up to us to make interesting stuff with the new actors and with the new tools. So now making games without code is possible thanks to this kit. Not only this kit, there's a lot of ways, not a lot, but there are some other ways to make a game without code. But yeah, in this day and age of the future, because this is the future where we've entered it a few years ago, and now now anyone can make a game. Literally, you watch this 20-hour series of mine and you will end up with the exact same game, which is ready to click on build and export, and you can pretty much put it on itch.io for free and just be like, yo, I made this cool game, psychological thriller, I hope you like it, and people will all think you're amazing. Well, maybe they will, I don't know, but all we will have done is follow a 20-hour guide by someone who showed you from scratch how it works, you know. I started very slowly, like a fourth grader talk, then I accelerated progressively, and now I don't cover pixels and stuff because I know you know how to do all that, so I just go into the mechanics. So now I'm ad-libbing a lot because I know that the French counterpart is still struggling because he tried to use the script from the crow with the crow sound, but you cannot do that because my slime don't have sound and there are no crows in this room. So it's just not a good thing. So very soon I will be like, okay, screw that. So I deactivated the thing, and I just copy from the normal NPCPatrol. So the NPCPatrol that Antihero has, instead of using the crowed sound from the new cavern. So that was the problem. I was using the crow with sound from the new cavern. So now I duplicated the normal NPCPatrol script from Antihero instead, renamed the class, and now there is no problem. So it was a problem I had created myself. So yeah, it's why I had a few minutes to speak about other stuff like Minecraft, game theory, human. I need to fill the gaps, you know, because what am I gonna say? I'm not gonna pretend to make the mistakes in English like, oh, right now I'm gonna do this. Oh, why is this not working? No, that would be stupid for me and for you. I rather tell you, I rather you get something out of the time, and too bad the French people will have wasted time looking at me make mistakes, but also it's a way to learn, you know. But some people, instead of looking at you and then understanding and then doing it, they want to copy frame by frame what you do, and to those people, those are the people that should waste a bit of time. But I hope that they will. That it will work out for them, and that they will end up with the same product, even though if they go this slow route of frame by frame imitation. So I'm pretty much done. Now I put it on the next one. You know, my camera is hiding the chords, but it's not important. I'm just looking. The chords currently are like -6. So I just go into the point A, X chord. You go from minus X, 5, I don't remember the value, and the Y value, and then you go to point B. I approximate it, like, you know, the center of the screen with the camera icon is 0. So if right now is my -7 and I want to put it to the right, I should go on +5 approximatively. So you can because you know, in mathematics, I don't know the names in English, but there are 4 quadrants like on a clock, you know. So noon to 3 is like positive values and so on, you know. So yeah, so when you imagine what X and Y values are in a scene, you need to assume that the middle of the scene, if you made it from normally, like I showed you, symmetric from the center, the middle of the scene will be the 0 coordinates. So when you move top right from there, all values go up. If you move bottom left from there, all values go down. So I'm looking at this chest. This chest only has a regular potion in it. It's completely useless. Don't waste your time trying to get it. So this NPC is the only NPC I'm gonna let there. For now, I'm just gonna put her on the top left. Like let's see if we can reach her. Then upon testing, I'll see we cannot reach her at all. There are the big solid layer boxes on the trees. So we will move her later somewhere else in the village, and we will give her a super alien technology sword that she will give Rem. Otherwise, there's no way you will beat the boss. Well, you could. You do poison. The poison will kill in 10 turns because it's 10% per tick, and we have not given a heal to the boss. So the boss, without healing, you can kill him in 10 turns. You just have to survive. But still, I'm gonna give a super powerful weapon because we don't want to waste 10 turns. That doesn't make an interesting playthrough video. Like poison the guy and wait. Yeah, that's a strat when you undergear, when you run undergeared something. It's not a strat to make interesting speed run. So now I'm showing that I made a cool concept, not concept, but a cool mix of the portrait of the Antihero with the orange slime, because at the end of the day they both mix together. Because you know, in the nightmare, when you beat the orange slime, you get the It's Orange flask. The It's Orange flask, you bring it back to real life, and that's why there are slimes all over the village. It kind of makes sense, but whatever. So you bring the stuff back into the village, and it goes free, you know, and there are slimes in the house and stuff. So I guess you could say that it comes out of the jar or something, and this is why it says if you have Is Orange in your pockets, it leads to a different room, to home 2, because then you brought back something from you brought back something you shouldn't have. So now I went and paintbrush. I just put some slime color dots on him to make it look like they're like 100 tiny crawling on him as he metamorphoses into the big boss, the buff version with the head slug on his head. So it was very simple to animate. I did not put much effort into it because I'm not a graphics person, so I just put little dots on the sprites. Hopefully, when as a game dev, what you want to do is make all of the mechanics and the concept and the narrative, and you want to build it all, and then you want to see like, okay, let's make this look fantastic. It's a waste of time to make it look fantastic if you don't have a game built, you don't have a concept, you don't have narrative missions, you don't have, it's why Feline Realms are no shadows yet, because it would be such a waste of time to work on shadows, and then you figure, you know what, I'm not happy with this hero character, so all you did is all a waste of time. No. I do stuff in an order, and I know what I'm doing. Maybe doing a trailer without having shadows is not the best idea, but as a first game, I know I will not make any money. I'm already multiple thousands in the negative. All the cost, just buying this mic and stuff, it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I'm not even getting a single cent from YouTube. So there's no way I'm gonna make money with my first game, and I know that. It's sad, but it's life. So I need to make the most out of it, which is to learn all that I can and make it as pretty as I can, and then I'll work on the shadows, and then I'll make a new trailer. And then this new trailer will have shadows and stuff, and the product will be a lot better. And then at least I will have a chance if I built some kind of an audience to at least get back what I've spent, and if I'm lucky, put some food on the table. We'll see. Otherwise, my point is really to get started with this game, and this series. It's all in one direction. So now I make him say like join us, because the slime are taking over his body. So we're kind of in Venom territory, where the alien slime thing is just taking over the anthropomorphic. Damn, that's a tough word in English. Anthropomorphical form, the human, the Antihero in this case. So now, what point am I? I create this battle area. So far it's still fine, but I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes. The French part is gonna make some mistakes, and I'm gonna solve them all later on. But I'm not even gonna configure them yet. I think I'm gonna move on, and I'll be back to the boss later. For now, I just wanted to put his appearance. And now I'm thinking about, we want the battle to be activated, but after the NPC speaks and says his line like join us. But what I'm trying is I will end up making this different. I will instead make a sound bite I will just say in the microphone, join us, and instead of going through an NPC that spawns the battle area, going near the boss, you will say the line join us, and then you will fight him, and we just get rid of the NPC. But then I will have forgotten to remove the appearance of the Antihero while you fight, so I will fix that again after. So just hang on, as my French counterpart does a couple mistakes filming this very long stretch of uninterrupted on the spot thinking and troubleshooting. I will be due for a break soon. I mean a break in the voiceover, because this episode is so long. There's no way I'm gonna hold my thirst and stuff for 2 hours. I don't want to run in the middle of a sentence for the bathroom. I want to be unstressed. So now I go the NPC route, because I just really wanted to see the mixed portrait, and we will see it, but I will end up removing it because the NPC it would have taken me a few more minutes to configure it, keeping everything, but even with all the editing I've done, not showing you guys the dialogues and stuff, it's still almost a 2-hour video. And I was pretty much like, you know what? Let's just get to the finish line, and then we have plenty of time after the fact. If people have questions, to go over small details. Otherwise, yeah. So now, on dialogue start, I was trying, okay, let's despawn the NPC and let's despawn the sprite. It was not the worst idea in the world, but it is, because I started configuring in a way, then I distracted myself heavily. Then I continued configuring in a slightly different way. Then nothing works, but stuff go wrong, and I will do multiple playthroughs in the remaining time of the video, and I will solve all the problems. Otherwise, this is only the only part that I did badly of this episode is this Antihero battle. I wasted time with the NPC, but I will fix it. Don't worry. Forgot to put it no retreat as well. A lot of small mistakes like I did. I put a list on the right, like stuff to do, and the list was so big, I was like, damn, it's like, it's why, it's bound to happen, small mistakes, but it's okay. It's okay. So now we're basically creating a quest named Mars Attack, and defeating that battle area will complete the quest Mars Attack. So we need to add the quest Mars Attack to this list of quest manager. Once the quest is added, we tell him, yo, when the quest Mars Attack is completed, I want you to spawn the teleport that would lead to the end credit scene. This is how Arjun made it in the demo. The teleport was right there actually, and if you had the condition that you have finished all the quest that he put in place in the demo, then stepping on the teleport would lead to the credit scene. So I just looked at that and was like, that's simple, eh? Let's just make it too. So I took the Antihero, I create Mars Attack. If you beat that guy, I want the teleport to credits to appear, and it all works, guys. It's as simple as that to finish the game. You can basically create a game, you wake up in Rem's bed, like, what the fuck? You beat your mother, and there's a teleport, and you got the end credits, and says, I hope you like this 30-second game. That should teach mother. Like, wow, don't play this game on Mother's Day. So yeah, so it's as simple as that to proc the end credit screen. So I deactivate the teleport, and then object activator. Oh yeah, and I'm like, what am I doing in an event object? This is not an event object. I want a quest activator. So in a few seconds I will realize, yeah, and I will get the proper one. It's the quest activator. It's not the complete quest either. I'm just going through them one at a time, like, whoops. And then I'll get the good one. So in this one, you can check a quest, and if the quest is completed, you do something. This is why I wanted this one. So you put the Mars Attack quest there. Active if complete. What is active? The slot object to activate. So if Mars Attack is completed, in other words, if you've beaten the boss, the teleport to the end credit scene appear there, which is basically back to your house, which is like, oh, Rem can finally go back to sleep. There are no longer mind slug aliens that are mind probing people during their sleep and trying to take over their bodies and get something out of it, nourishment or whatever alien slugs do. So yeah, I think now I need to create the battle prefab, because we put visually the Antihero, but we have not created the battle prefab. So I duplicate his original one. I'm gonna name it like Alien Slugger, just to differentiate it now from the original one. Then I'm trying to take his name. The screen is moving so fast, I'm like, dude, where is the field for the name? But it's there, character name. There it is. I will not configure him on cam. I'll come back to him later because it's not important. I'll just put like 1000 HP and whatnot. It's not important. The whole point is just that we kill him and that we see that we can finish the game. So now I'm adding the enemy prefab to the list. Even though it's not configured, it's fine. Whatever we'll change on him will update. What's important was referencing it. So now same principle, it's not important. This is the last mob you will beat. Well, you can for fun kill the extra slimes after, but basically you kill him, you're done. You can give him 5000 XP if you want, just to feel happy after. But for this tutorial it's pointless because we will not grind any more levels. I think we've grinded enough levels for the purpose of the guide. So now I'm explaining the thing that went wrong. When I say, oh, I want to do a background behind him, I want it to be like, in Final Fantasy 4, which is 2, Zeromus battle, there's like moving space behind the boss. And I always thought it looked cool. I was like, let's try to put an animated space background, but don't do this. Don't do this the way that I tried. It failed and it made French me lose some more time because I tried to put an animator on the thing, but maybe it's doable. Everything is doable, so it definitely is. But the way that I tried, that I improvised, did not work out, and I did not try a different way because the episode is too long. I was like, okay, let's just drop that ID. I'll cover it in another episode. Like maybe I'll come. In a couple episodes, oh, you know what, I found here's how to animate a background. It's not important to make people waste time in the context of this particular episode. So now I'm gonna make him smaller. The thing I need to explain why I make it so small, 0.2, and it's even too big, is because usually there is a size of the sprite in game. So I don't have the number in my head, but let's say it's about 50 by 50 pixels, okay? Or maybe a very big monster is 80 pixels by 80 pixels. And now we put a GPT image that is like 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels. So if you want to have the proper size on your screen to be like maximum, maybe 100, you need to basically cut it in 10, right? So 100% being size 1000, but it needs to be size 100 on screen, so you would need to make it like 0.1. But this is a bad thing because then everything scales. So the interface of the boss, which means his health bar and his silence and poison status, they will become virtually invisible because you shrinked everything. So what you want to do is write in Paint. You take the 1000 pixel image from GPT, you do like a resize 10% of size, you save it, and that's the one you will use in game. And in game then you won't have to resize it to 10%, so it will not screw with the interface. So I told you you guys the solution. It's very simple, it's just that the guide was too long. So I make this portal bigger, and with rotation I turned it around, and with the flip axis I made it spin in a way that my brain liked. Don't ask me why, there is no reason why. I wanted it to turn in this way. It just feels better to me, but maybe to you it feels better in the other direction. Choose whatever your brain prefers. We are slaves to our brains. We do not choose which one is better. He chooses and we deal with it. So now you look at the placeholder text that this villager has on the NPC that I've kept. Instead, I want her to give us a sword, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna give him 1000 HP and stuff, but I'm not gonna take half an hour to beat the boss. You know, like final boss in a game has to take some time, maybe not half an hour, but you need to balance it a lot of HP. He needs to have annoying mechanics, like, oh, he will heal himself. You need to silence him, otherwise he will do something in the next turn, or you know, there are mechanics and stuff. And so I was like, nah, we don't have time for this. We'll make her give you a sword, you know, like Army of Darkness with Bruce Campbell. He falls in the hole, and there's like the old well, wizard, sorcerer, sage man is like, he's giving us he's throwing him his gun in the hole or something, like, stranger, take this. Well, I felt like, you know what, this villager should be like, I found this, take this, and we're gonna be able to beat his ass with it. But it's not important, it's just me trying to make this a bit more fun. So I'm even creating an event like, oh, best in slot, because I don't want her to give the thing twice. But don't do this, waste of time. When I test her at the end of the video, it makes her disappear before she gives the item, so I remove this thing, and oh, certainly all works, so don't bother. It's not important. Worst that can happen is if the player zone in and out of houses to make her respawn, he will be able to get a second sword. So it would give a weapon to Alice, but anyway, it's not important. It's the last scene in the game, unless you choose to not put a title screen, a credit scene teleport, and you just want to keep on. You know, that's when you choose when. For the purpose of the demo tutorial, I end the story there, because we don't need more story to show the technical stuff. We got plenty right there. And we needed a quote-unquote more advanced product to show the more advanced stuff, like, oh, let's configure Unity Input Manager and stuff. You need a product worth configuring to do that. So now I'm creating this plus 999 sword. I'm like, you know what, this is gonna maybe two-shot him if I crit or something. If he has 1000 HP, I just have to crit him real good. This will make a fast last boss to this very long video. So I'm adding the new sword that I just created. I'm getting pretty thirsty. I'm gonna have to take a pause soon. It's getting almost painful to swallow. So yeah, I just make her give the item and blah blah blah. Like I said, we will not even be able to walk to her because of the tree, so I will move her away after. Because we have not yet chronologically went through testing this particular scene, but we will very soon. Very, very soon. I think at the 1 hour, 12 minute marks, we start the testing playthroughs. So in 6 minutes. So now I'm doing the thing I spoke about not to do. Instead of putting just a space picture behind him, which would have been fine, I was like, oh, you know what, the pixel artist who made this animated it would look cool to have the stars like shining, not shining, but twinkling. Yes, that's word, I think, twinkling. It would have been nice, but and it has to be doable, just not the way that I done it. What I did is I just put the picture in the battle background slot, and then I click on create animation. But no, what it did, it tried to create animation on the battle area and not on the image. So it created big problems, and it will break the logic of the battle, so we will need to remove that, and then the game will work. So it's why I'm telling you, don't don't do that part. I was experimenting, and I said it in French quite profusely, and hopefully I told you guys enough in advance too. You can put just space like that, it's fine, but don't do like I'm doing right now, which is to try to create an animation, because I was not doing animation on the right thing. I was trying to animate the wrong stuff. I was just not paying attention. But hopefully I did not waste a lot of time on it. I just did that like, oh no, we'll see if that works. But I did not even like animate the proper thing. So it says animator is not playing an animation controller. but I don't necessarily see the little things at the bottom. When they're red, they peak more. So now we just have to reskin the battle, right? Because we duplicated the enemy prefab, but we did not give him his super buff new appearance. But also, what else? I think there's a little other thing I was about to do. Oh no, I'm just speculating. French version is just speaking of what if scenarios. It's not important. We will very soon move on to the next timestamp. Oh yeah, he's saying I will now modify every single dialogue in game, and I will do this off camera. Otherwise, the episode will be half an hour longer, and for no reason, because you see the dialogue in the demonstration of the playthrough. So see you after. And now I'm like, okay, so I just changed every single dialogue, so they now all say stuff that has to do with our things. You know, they no longer say welcome to the 2D RPG kit. But that being said, French Me did forget one NPC. Mother still says, hey, you need to get me a truffle. I forgot that one dialogue, but it has no importance, because I recycled it in the end credits by saying, I think Mother wanted us to get something, but that's not important. We lived happy anyway. It just had some funniness. So now I just created a sound that says join us, with a big Venom-like voice, because the slimes are taking over the Antihero's body, you know, and their mind slugs and whatever. So I just let's not get Shakespearean here and just go the Marvel way to make a candy product. Just say join us, and then you enter a battle with him, and you will have the modified Venom-like Antihero, but with orange slime mind slug version, Futurama edition. Still did not click the no retreat. It hurts my eyes to see it. I'm so distracted when I'm deep. You guys don't know because you have the voiceover, but if you listen in French, I'm like machine gunning some section. I'm speaking very fast, like and there's no way I'm gonna be able to speak like that in English. And it's distracting me in a way that I'm so busy speaking that fast and doing stuff that I don't notice what right now, being super slow and smooth in English, I see like, oh, I did not click on the no retreat button. I'm such an idiot. I'm so smarter than this person. I would totally not make any mistakes if I made my own series. You would, unless you edit it heavily. So now I'm doing like, okay, let's add an audio source. On the audio source, I want when the battle start, you set active the object, so the object will activate, and when it activates, it play on awake the sound. So it will just play the sound once. And for now, I'm fine with this. But the monster is still in only 0.2, so it's gonna be too big, but he does not know at that point that it's too big. I have not tested it yet, so I was just speculating. Maybe 0.2 will be decent, and it will be, but just a bit too big. Maybe the best would be in between, like 0.15. So I'm giving him some skills, nothing too major. We have no time to waste on balancing him. We already know from listening to me how to balance and stuff. But we did not test yet the other new skill that Arjun made, which is the skill to heal the status that the enemies are supposed to be able to use on themselves. So we were gonna test it on this final boss. Spoiler alert, it works. Thank you very much, Arjun. Thank you so much. You're the man. So now we're gonna be able to close the deal properly. I'm gonna save the scene. And this is where the next, literally the next 15 minutes are gonna be me playing the game, reaching a point where, damn, there is a problem, I need to fix the problem. After fixing the problem, looks like I need to load my last save game and make it back there and see if the problem is solved. Then when the problem is solved, I make it further in the game, and oh, next problem. So yeah, the next 15 minutes are just that. So I'm gonna take a break right now, because there's no way I'm gonna find something to say if I don't take a break. 5 minutes later. So, why am I here? Hello, Ram, come eat. I cannot wait to beat the crap out of you. Ah! Can Macaulay Culkin scream? And then you get into room 2. Yeah, the teleport works. Because we made no mistakes. Mother is not waking us up because we have It's Orange. We zone into home 2 and... Dope! I made a typo in the name of the teleport of home 2. I needed to put a space between home and 2. So poor me is gonna have to play the demo another 15 minutes to get back to that point just because of a simple typo. I'm looking in disbelief at the build settings. Home 2 is already there. Am I being trolled? Is it the capybara's fault? Ever since I put it and I was overlay, there's been funny stuff going on. I bet it's the capybara's fault. But no, it was not. Dun, dun, dun. Look here. There needs to be a space because my scene has a space in it. A single difference like that can make a black screen that loses you 15 minutes. Brutal violence. Emotional damage! That's a lot of damage. So now that I'm done entertaining you, we have fixed this error and we can now go all over again. But lucky for you, I do video edits, so you do not have to play test the game. You just have to watch the next problem that will arise. And there will be plenty more, and I will fix them all. All small detail of attention, like that space in the name. So I load the game, and then Video Magic cut edit. We just beat the same boss, but now we get to zone in the village, because the teleport is named properly. But look, there's already another problem. The teleporter does not exist on the other end, so it puts you at the XY chords that you were at, which means on the side we appeared in a fence stuck in a solid layer. So French me still did not make it to the save point into the demo village. And French me will have to once again play the whole thing again to reach the same point, just because I had forgot to put the teleport on the side. So now I'm investigating, I'm looking at this teleport, I'm like, oh, it must be this guy's fault. It's deactivated, but no, in a few seconds I know this. No, this is the end credits teleport. It says scenes, credits, teleport name, credits. So I will put it back where it was, and I will excuse myself, then I will create the new teleport, which is the one, because on the home 2 side we created the teleport that says if you step there, load the scene village 2. So it does that, but then when it gets into loading village 2, which is a different scene, then it says, okay, I need to load something called player and to put it at something called X and Y and Z chords. Can I please get the chords, please? And then the program waits. The program is not getting an entry from the teleporter on the side, so it just said, okay, then we'll just pass on the value. If you did not modify it, it's your problem, so you're carrying the ancient value. And that's why I appeared in a fence. So now I need to put something in place that says, yo, you need to actually put the teleport from there so it does not appear. So once I solve everything will be nice. So I think about right there, I'm looking the other teleports. One leads to the shop, one leads to the inn, the other one leads to the end credits. So clearly the other teleport is not hiding anywhere. I look and the Prefab, is he there? No, he's not there. That was a joke, a bad click. So I'm gonna create a new teleport. It's a very simple fix. It's just small inattention problems, because basically this is like a 2-hour computer session non-stop for the French version. So yeah, I'm just wrote a little plan on the right side, like, oh, I need to do this about in this order. Then I do it for the first time, and this is why there are a few inattention mistakes, but this is fine because I include all the solution. That's why I showed you the final product, quote unquote, at the end, the playthrough. I say quote unquote because it's far from being over. We did not even put customized sounds on it, like music and stuff. We will get that into the next episodes to make it even better, but we will not create new scenes. We have created all the mechanics Now what we will do is reskin it to our taste and explain more advanced stuff like exporting the game and so on, and input manager and so on. So now everything is fixed, so another video edit for you guys. So now, right, this will be over. Fireball crit, this is an omen. This will be the good time where there will be no fence. No fence is waiting on us on the other side, because now the teleport from is telling us go there. So now we go around the village. Oh, there are slimes everywhere. I'm so happy I can finally move in the village. I'm not fence man. What is your power? I'm stuck in a fence. And now I have the very dumb idea to test this before going to save. Very dumb idea. I forgot to rewire this innkeeper to village 2. This innkeeper and the shop have the old wires leading to village 1. All the NPCs are there. It's nighttime because I did not manually put the day back. And I'm like, where are the slimes? And then I realize, oh my god. I should have saved. I didn't. So now French me has to do two things. The inn and the shopkeeper, they both need to have teleports that lead to the night, so we need to instantiate them. It cannot be the same inn, because we want the player, if he wants to not go in the bed, if he wants to play the regular demo, we want him to go into the inn and to do his stuff undisturbed. He will be disturbed because Alice is not there anymore. We removed him. But you just need to reactivate him if you guys want him there. So yeah, so we instantiate, we create a second version. This is the version that we want to stay night and lead to the village 2, which is the night village. And we will do exactly the same with the shopkeeper. It's just a detail I had forgotten, and I wish I had saved before. This is why I end up sleeping at 4 a.m. It's because of I'm so tired. I do inattention mistake. An inattention mistake leads to a 15-minute playthrough to try to push to the next save point. And when I finally reach the village with the save point, I'm so dumb I go into the inn to heal Alice for no reason instead of saving first. But it's okay. It's bound to happen when you work this late. So now I created the duplicate scenes, so we need to add them to the build settings and save them. So once they're added to the build settings and they're created, we're gonna go into them and we're gonna remove the stuff that we don't want from the original things. So yeah, but right now I try to follow myself. It's like, okay, teleport, let's create the second version. It is created. Build settings, we add it. The inn2 was already done. I just done it while speaking over it. So yeah, you just do the same for both. So now it's gonna work. Now it's gonna work. I forgot nothing, right? Almost. I think the only problems left are on the boss, the final boss, and we will save. So this is another playthrough. I finally beat them. So tired of beating the same slimes at this point, but it's okay. I do this so you don't have to. You can see the solution and configure properly, so you will have to playtest a lot this time. You will make mistakes for sure unless you're perfect at imitating me. And then I look at the inn, it's night, yeah, I take your gold, I go out, and it leads into the hide village. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This is great, and I trusted so much what I did that I did not even save before. Look how much I trusted my work. I'm completely nuts. When there are consequences to failure, you work better. It's a painful technique. Oh my god, I did not remember I put those stupid lines on him, because I was like, we're not even gonna speak to him. When I was renaming all the dialogue, I was like, we're not gonna speak to him. Let's rename his truffle line to a sleeping pill line, because Rem cannot sleep because he has nightmares. Or whatever. Hopefully you did not have time to read the stupid joke, and if you did, hopefully this video is labeled as not for kids, so there's no harm done. Now we get out of there. We have saved, we tested both exits. Now we can finally test him. There will be many problems that I spoke of earlier, because I wanted this Mind Slugger text, and then he is like twice too big, and you see his L line is minuscule and his abs. It's because we're only showing 20% of rescaling downwards. And you see the background space is not only not covering the screen like it should, but it's just a broken sprite in middle that's not being animated at all. And even on top of that, I did not click on the no retreat, and we cannot reach the NPC. So you see all the problems that are left are in this little corner of the game now. The boss, the visuals, and of course the teleport to the end credits don't spawn because we need to kill the boss. If you retreat, it does not complete the Mars attack quest. It just retreats, he despawns, you need to zone in a house for him to respawn or something. So now we have to fix all of these things. So we're gonna start with her because that's like the easiest fix. You know what, we cannot reach you, I'll put you at the top right instead. So the player, you will have to go see her. She's hiding as far away as she can from that guy with his strange slugs. So now I'm checking something like, yeah, no retreat, thank you. What else was there to fix? The background. We need to remove that. So either you put no background if you took my patch for having no background picture combat, or you put whatever image you want into the background. But what's for sure is that you don't put the sprite like I did and then create an animator to test, and then the animator is not on the good thing and then everything breaks. So like I said, hopefully you listened and you did not try to do it like I did. So now I just put him a no picture thing, but there's still gonna be problems now because the animator is still on the thing. I just removed the image. I did not remove the animator, and the problem was not coming from the image. It was coming from the animator that had no business being there. Now I'm like, oh yeah, right, it was too big, let's make him even shorter. And I explained to you that now we won't even see his health bar no more. But I explained to you that if you want not to to descale the things, you need to shrink the image in Paint and import it in Unity while it's shrinked. You don't import a creature 1000 by 1000 in a 200 by 200 scene. It makes no sense. So now I see, oops, the NPC is disappearing. So I did configure her to disappear, but I did not. I wanted it to happen after she gives me the sword. Like, I take the sword, and then she runs in her house. But no, the logic happens too fast. The item did not even appear in my pocket. So I'm gonna simply remove the thing that does the logic I added, the trigger on can activate that does. So I don't even need this best in slot anymore because I had created that because I did not want the player to receive the sword twice. So let's say you zone in the shop and you come in and out, you will make the NPC give you the sword again, maybe, if you did not create an event with it, maybe. So I just put that as a precaution, but whatever. Now I remove the trigger to make her despawn because we don't want that. She will give her the sword just fine and speak to her again. She won't give it twice. So this is just fine like that. So now I'm gonna test the game, but at this point in time, my French counterpart still has not realized that there is still the animator that is like on the battle area of the boss, and that is what is breaking the battle. But everything else is fixed currently. Everything else is fixed. The last thing to fix in the entire thing is removing the animator from the enemy, I think. So now I notice, whoops, there, yeah, at this point there is still the NPC and the battle closes immediately, genre. It just closes, like it's trying to run whatever it's supposed to run, and it hits something that says this battle should not be happening the way it's configured, let's close it. So now I just like, okay, let's test this while we're there. We see the end credits work with the portal and stuff. So now we just need to fix whatever is wrong with the Antihero. So the rest of the couple next minutes is gonna be basically wasting time until I figure out I need to remove the animator, and then everything works. We're almost there, guys. Almost there. So now I'm going into the folder for the enemies and looking at this big bad slug alien, and I'm like, yo, my dude, what is wrong with you? And then I realize, and it's not with him, it's the battle area. So we look at the battle area, and if you pay close attention when I'll scroll down, you will see the animator is like on the battle area. I thought I had the space picture selected when I created animation, but look, the animator was there like on the battle area instead. So now I deactivated it, I removed it. So now that problem won't be there. Now the problem remaining is the fact that I set the battle with an NPC that if you talk to the NPC, he says join us, and at the same time the battle starts. So now I'm gonna soon realize, you know what, screw this NPC. I already recorded the audio voice saying join us. I don't need the NPC to say it in a box of dialogue on top of it. You could, as an on-HP event, it would be cool. But right now, because the episode is like 2 hours, and I'm like, audience retention is a thing, and people don't stay that long. I really do an effort to make the video shorter. So now we see that the game don't break. But so we see two problems. We see that we still see the Antihero sprite in the back. He should have been done morphing into the monster, so we should not see him anymore. So that's problem number one. And problem number two, I don't know, but we seen he just used the channel status. He just healed his own status. So this was the first test of the new spell that came with the 4.3 patch. So thank you, Arjum. This spell is fantastic and it works. So now, I'm just gonna finish this guy, and then I'm gonna notice the problem comes from the NPC. So I'll remove the NPC and make this a regular battle area, and then like we do in all other episodes, and everything will work, and I think we'll be done. So now my French version is explaining what I already told you guys, is that why are we not seeing silence, poison, and his health bar. It's because I had took the GPT 1000 pixel image, and I had not do resize 10% of size before putting it in the game, because this is a small pixel game. This is not a 1080p game, so my 1080p enemy is too big for this. So this is just why it scales down the thing. So now you see, after I beat him, the NPC is still there, and then there's one too many of them. So now I'm like, okay, so we fixed the thing that was broken the game, the animator and stuff, but now we need to remove, because now there's two battles. There's the invisible one, and there's the one attached to the visible sprite. The visible sprite was because I wanted I wanted to show off the portrait that I made in a comfy UI IA program. You just smash two pictures together. It was like, oh, this looks so cool, but whatever. So we will remove the NPC because the episode is too long, but it's easy to configure. It's just it's just not necessary. I wanted to reach the end of the episode. So now I think this is it. Everything works on this side, and the title screen now, because I resized the text, it was not showing all the text, but now it shows all the text. So we're done troubleshooting the title screen. So now the last thing is to fix this, because we don't want two successive battles, we just want one battle. And since there's the big audio sound icon on the middle of the screen, is like, yeah, right, I already put an audio sound. Why am I making my life miserable by adding an NPC into that recipe and stuff? And basically I removed the NPC and this episode is over. So that's like, dude, what am I doing? Let's just do that. So I'm like, okay, the battle area, when you start, you will deactivate the image like you always do. You will deactivate the space portal, just to like the link to the mothership is broken. You kill the boss, is no longer invasion. This is the old sprite background. I just wanted to test the appearance. I remove it, not to confuse anyone. So now I just need to remove the NPC, or I done it, probably done it real fast while I was speaking. So now I think this all works. Yes, it does. I look at the timestamp. Oh, I'm not sure. No, there's a... Not sure. We'll see. We'll see. So now I load the game. Hopefully this is the last time. I take the alien technology sword. I did not care to reskin it more. We already had the free asset. And we'll still have one more sword if you wanted to. So now you see it works properly. The alien disappears. Now thinking after the fact, I should have let the portal maybe, just so that the portal appearance be into this fight frame. But then again, if you use an image as your battleground picture, you will not see the city because you have made the choice to not see the city. And that's not a bad choice because to make this setup of mine be perfect, you need to reconfigure. You need to nitpick how you place players. Like right now, you see Rem is on top of a tree, so I would move the battle slightly to avoid this. You know, you need to try hard to make it work. It doesn't work if you don't try hard. So now I'm basically done, everything works. Then I hit my head on the collider of this monster. I'm not gonna bother resize it because we're basically done. And I'm like, you know what? Look at this 999 sword. Where is the problem? It's not the end of the world if we hit that guy by mistake. Look at the sword, even a basic hit. So on a super resistant enemy still does 143. So yeah, we're very powerful now. We could destroy Kefka and Sephiroth at the same time with one hand on our back tied while listening to something horrible. So, now this is it, guys. We are done. Thank you very much. Like you've seen, this was decent enough. If you followed all episode 1 through 20, I showed everything from A to Z to make exactly this game that you just saw. We just made this all together. So you basically cross the bridge, like I said. You are now a game developer. Congratulations. Now you only need to improve your animation skills, your musician skills, and such things like front-end, back-end. So dealing with Steam, dealing with code. So I will give coding lessons. I will give advanced lessons. But for now, this core series is very good with this final episode for the story. The next episode, we will cover little things and we will speak about other stuff, and then we will move on to Mega Man and to the coding lessons, because I realize people need a base in coding, and I'm willing to help you guys to do that in both languages. So I hope to see you. I hope you enjoyed this, because if you followed, you have basically the same game right now. This game is ready to be shared on itch.io or to be sold on Steam, whichever you want. It's always better to not think about money the first game, because there's so much things you will learn. It's why I'm not asking money to make these videos, because it's the first time. So I'm showing you, look, this all works, this is all great, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next episode. So hi everyone, thank you very much for staying until the end of the video. I like to take this time to ask you to please go on Steam and wishlist my game. Also, you can go on Twitch to see me doing some live development occasionally. If you're a super chat or super chatted, you can do additional support on Patreon. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. Those are really what I'm looking after, because I need to reach 500 subscribers to even be able to get some sort of income from YouTube. Until then, I'm doing this all for free. So thank you for subscribing very much.